I'm a Nigerian. I'm living with HIV. And my life has been a struggle.
I first met Bisi Alimi when I was producer of Nigeria's leading talk show, New Dawn with Fumi Inyoda in 2004. I had known of him as a student of the University of Lagos, but had never met him. Yet here he was, in my email box saying that he wanted to do something completely unheard of. He wanted to come out of the closet and announce that he was gay on national television. The first person in Nigeria's history to do that. It was shocking. It was scary. It also inspired me.
You see, my message, Bisi, I go tell you, say, I understand when I fear. I understand why I get fear. Because the thing where person don't know, it is fear person.
Plenty of water has passed since that time. The TV show was suspended briefly for the audacity of telling his story. His life was threatened and he had to seek asylum in the United Kingdom. Today, he has become one of the strongest African voices fighting for the rights of minorities.
That bill that prescribed 14 years imprisonment for LGBT people, this is a huge step back.
In all of this, Bisi has dealt publicly with shame, hurt, pain, fear, loss, and of course, hope. I wonder what it is to live a life of such fearlessness, one that he continues to live today, and one that brings us to this conversation that warmed my heart and lifted my spirit.
Something has happened with you over the past 1 year or 2 years. Something. I say that, and this, I might be talking out of my whatever, but I say that for anybody who is watching you as a public figure, it appears that you've broken into the sunlight.
I was never hiding behind it, believe me. But yeah, that's quite interesting. Yeah, I think it's more than the last 24 months. I think for about 5 years.
Right.
And I personally, you know, I thanks to social media, you can actually have memories, and I do go through those memories, and I like, oh, what really happened, and where and when did it happen that all of a sudden I just kind of have this platform, and it's become so huge that sometimes I can't believe that I have access to them.
Right. But before then, there was a time when it appeared like you were very angry.
I am still very angry.
Tell me, what are you angry about? What are the things that make you angry, apart from the obvious?
I think, you know, growing up in a very poor family, like really, really poor, and experiencing a lot of injustice, I felt like I wasn't given a chance and an opportunity in life to actually reach my potentials. And that was really painful for me. And, you know, going to the university and knowing that I could do better than kids from rich home. But what I lack was just parents who are educated, parents who have the money and the resources to support me, and opportunities that I can have from my dad's friends or my mom's friends because they're connected. And seeing those kind of things, but also seeing other people's struggle within my own struggle just got me to a point of anger. And it took me a long time to be able to use that anger. I was upset at everything. I was quite destructive in a way. And I felt like it was also part of the struggles that I went through in life. I think I was destroying myself, and I was, to some extent, destroying things and people around me. And it wasn't quite intentional. It was just about the fact that things shouldn't be this way and this is not fair. And I didn't know how to handle it.
You didn't know how to handle it. So these things you say are very normal. We all go through these things. We all go through these demons. But I feel like in your own case, two things. One of the things is you've had to go through them in the public eye recently or in the past 5 years. But then you've also had to deal with a lack of empathy because of your activism. Yeah, so the things that people should naturally empathize with and say, oh, he's going through these things, I need to see, they're like, you know, he deserves it, you know, he's working with the devil, all of those things, yeah? How do you negotiate that?
I did a video about HIV.
Yes.
Like a Facebook
yes,
Live about HIV.
that went viral.
It went viral.
My friends, people were telling me, oh, you need to watch this. I'm like, what is happening? Is he on CNN? No, he's on CNN again. He's on Facebook Live. I said, what is he doing? They said, no, it's so soulful. And it's so, yeah. So
for me, it was really, I was shocked about the way it went.
Yes.
But what happened after that was for me where the empathy comes from. And whose empathy or whose currency matters. The amount of Nigerians that were coming into my inbox and were saying, I don't know about this. I've never really understood this for a long time. Thank you so much for making this video. There was a young man that came to me and said, you know, because of the way the side effects of my drugs had been affecting my life, I had stopped for about 3 weeks. And I said, you need to go back to your drugs. You need to go see your doctor. And he got back to me and said, I've gone to see my doctor and they're actually telling me that I'm developing resistance because I stopped taking my medication.
Oh my God.
And he said, if you had not done that video, I wouldn't have gone through this. Now, that is what matters to me. So when people come on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter and say, you're going to die, I look at them and I say, you know what, ain't nobody got time for you today. Because there's someone's life that needs to be saved and I don't have time for this noise.
Still to come.
The person you saw on that set that day was a person that was on his way to commit suicide. I just felt like my life wasn't progressing, but more importantly, it was also the year I got diagnosed with HIV.
I remember the first time that I mean, we were in Unilag at the same time. You sent an email to a show I was working on, New Dawn. And I said, I knew him. So I read this email. And I thought, no, get the GTFOH. No, you don't want to do this. You want to come and talk about your sexuality on air. And you sent a mail to Fumi, and I was the one looking at the email saying, you want to talk about this on the show. And so as I walked up to Fumi and I said, we have to do this. But I'm afraid for his life. I'm afraid. And Fumi says, she's afraid. So we say, let's call him back and ask him, are you sure?
Oh my God, I remember all of this.
Yes, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to do this? You know, and you came on air and you did this on NTA. You know.
It was 2004, 14 years ago.
2004, 14 years ago. And what I remember most wasn't what happened on set, because what you did was incredibly brave. But what I remember most was you coming out of the set. And the cameraman and everybody was looking at you, you know. And even those of us who knew that there was nothing wrong with you couldn't even be brave enough to stand with you. So you were standing by the side.
Yes.
I'm standing there and I'm standing here. And I'm just like, what a fucking brave person this is. How could you do that?
You know, I don't know how many of my interviews about that show that you've watched, that I've talked about. I wasn't brave. The person you saw on that set that day was a person that was on his way to commit suicide. And I wanted to make that statement before I do that. I was going through a lot at that point, and I just felt like my life wasn't progressing. But more importantly, it was also the year I got diagnosed with HIV.
That was the year.
I got diagnosed in May. The show was in October.
Right.
And I struggled all through that process, and I realized that I couldn't tell anybody about my diagnosis, even people that were very close to me. I couldn't, and I've seen my friends dying, and I knew I was going to die. I knew I wasn't going to be alive for long, and depression just came over me. And I just felt like if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down leaving something behind.
Yeah.
But also, Unilag was all over me,
Yes.
Campus Life magazine, I printed my story already.
Yes.
There was a lot going on, and I
Yes.
just felt like, I know I'm going to go down, but I want it to be my way. And I will forever be appreciative to you and to Fumi for giving me that platform, because I wouldn't be what I am today without that platform. And I always say, but something I needed to say is that I was working in HIV for about 6 years before I finally got diagnosed.
Right.
So despite the fact that I had so much knowledge about HIV, I had supported a lot of people who were living with HIV. I had, taken people to go and take treatment. When I received my diagnosis, I couldn't handle it.
Yes.
And that's why I always tell people that, it's okay for us to think it's someone else's problem until it becomes our problem.
Yeah.
And then we have to, learn to go through the process of wanting to know how to deal with it.
Yes.
And when I look back about all my past experiences and how they've made me who I've become now, I think I'm wiser.
You think you're wiser? Yeah. I didn't ask this earlier, but you got married. Did you? Yes. And are you still married?
I'm still very much married.
Fantastic.
Actually, we got married in November of 2016.
Right.
And for me, it's also one of the most amazing things that have happened in my life.
Yeah.
People talk about marrying their best friend.
Yeah.
Marrying someone that is so easy to love. And when you're out of it, you think that, oh yeah, they're just making it up. My husband is very annoying, but I love him for that. And now, we have 2 lovely puppies who are becoming big dogs now.
Yeah.
That added so much joy to the family.
Yeah.
And it's just, for me, growing up in Mushin,
Yes.
I'd never thought that I will say I do the way I am to someone that I love. And so that's become one of my biggest achievements in life.
That has become one of the biggest achievements in life. I really love that. There was a time when you couldn't come back to Nigeria. Yeah? How was that?
It was tough.
Obviously because of your sexuality.
Yeah, it was tough. And because I claim asylum.
Yes.
And so if you claim asylum for 6 years, you can't come back.
Yeah.
It was really tough because most times when cases happen where gay men have been arrested by the police or people need support, but also there was something that kept going at the back of my mind. My dad is very old, my mom is getting old. What if anything happens and I wouldn't have the opportunity to be there? I wouldn't have the opportunity to actually pay my last respect to them. So that was quite hard, but the joy of it was the fact that I could easily get distracted by traveling around. I do come to West Africa, but just couldn't come into Nigeria.
I remember there was a time when you were in Ghana.
I was in Ghana, I was in Benin Republic as well. But it was, it was really hard that you have people who can, go away any moment and you will never be part of that celebration.
Yes.
It was tough.
We still live in a society where there is a huge social cost. I mean, you don't care, but there's a huge social cost. How are you able to be in Nigeria and to have this conversation, you hold your head high and to just be day by day? How are you able to do it?
Where I stay when I come to Nigeria, hardly can anyone who makes noise on Facebook attack me. But a very good friend of mine, Ayo Sogoro, used to say this. He said, Bisi, you don't understand. Nigerians are angry. You are so easy to pick on. It's not that we don't like you.
Yeah, you're so easy to pick on.
You're just so easy to pick on.
so easy to pick on.
Everybody can pick on you without feeling bad. So just enjoy the moment and like it. And when I come here, I walk down the street, people will recognize me and say, oh my God, Bisi Alimi, can I take a picture with you? And I was like, where are the people that want to kill me? I can't find them. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of time it's out of love.
Yeah.
When you live the life that people want so badly, and they can't have it. There are 2 things they will do. It's either they love you and hope that the God, whichever God that is they worship, will answer their prayer like He's answering yours, or they hate you for it. Not because they hate you for who you are, but they hate you for what you have become. And I think I have come to understand that, and I don't hate them back because I know the struggle.
I love that. You don't hate them back. I love that.
When we come back, Bisi Alimi speaks on his struggles with family acceptance.
To be fair to my mom, she's struggling to understand how a son could be in a relationship with a man and all of those kind of things, and she's struggling with that.
Yeah.
But I also feel that it's been 14 years.
Your mom, but I don't think you hadn't seen her at that time.
Yeah, I didn't see her at all.
You hadn't seen her, but then it took her a while to accept you. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
All right. Okay, tell me about that, please.
I have a love and hate relationship with my mom,
Right.
and I'm not sorry to say that, but
Right.
you know, she was with us in 2015, so she came on a visit to the UK
Right.
in 2015, and it didn't go well at all.
Yeah.
So my husband met her, so we went to my brother-in-law's house,
Right.
and they met, and he was shocked because he met a different woman from the person
That he had
he
heard
met
right.
in London, where
Right.
my mother was all over him. And it was even funny because my husband got back to the hotel and said, "Oh my God, your mom speaks English." And I was like, "Why?" But she never spoke English to me when we were in London.
Right.
So I don't know. I think that, to be fair to my mom, she's struggling. She had limited education. She's struggling to understand how a son could be in a relationship with a man and all of those kind of things, and she's struggling with that.
Yeah.
But I also feel that it's 14 years.
Yes.
It's been 14 years.
Yes.
And if there are questions, we should sit down and have those questions. And I hope that, you know, if parents are watching this and you're suspecting anything about your kids, the best gift you can give your child is to sit down, ask questions, have conversation. It will open up a lot of things and heal a lot of wounds.
You find yourself being in a place where you have to have compassion for your mom, for your family, for people who just hate you for, not hate, who won't support you for who you are. So the question is, how can you have compassion? How can you have anything remaining in you to even empathize with a person who will not even empathize with you?
I think you have to, first of all, know how far you can go. And that is very important.
Right.
And after my mom left London in 2000, she stayed 2015, 2016, because she came for Christmas and she left in the new year.
Right.
And there was a lot of drama that happened at the back scene. I called myself and I said, I have tried enough. And from now on, this relationship will be on my own terms. And I will pick the call when I want to pick the call. And I will extend love or send money or do whatever I want to do if and when I want to do it. Gone are the days when she will call and she'll say, "Oh, I want to talk to you," and I will be in the middle of something very serious, and I will say, "Guys, excuse me, I need to talk to my mom."
Yes.
That moment has come and gone. And that really helped me to be able to understand that, you know, I can still love her because I still do love her. She's my mom and she means the world to me. I do love her, but it has to be the way that benefits both of us. She couldn't break that compassion level to say, whatever happens, this is my son and this is who makes my son happy. And I don't care the noise outside. I'm going to love them regardless. Because she couldn't go through that, then I don't think I should do that for her. And so if you call that compassion, but I call it, you know, conditional love, basically. And one of the biggest problems that a lot of my Nigerian friends who live abroad, one of the biggest problems they have is they don't understand how to introduce conditional love into their relationship, not just with their families, but with also their friends, in a way that if someone is not going to go through thick and thin with you, why should you? And it's very important that you also have to take care of yourself, because the best you can give is you. If you don't have you can't give anything.
The best you can give is you.
If you don't have you can't give anything. You can't give what you don't have.
Yes. Yes.
And so you have to protect yourself.
Yes.
You have to be, and this may sound like a cliche, but you have to be in a place where you love yourself so much
Yes.
that you want to give yourself to people that will
Yes.
appreciate the gift that you're giving them.
After the break, with Chude continue.
What something was remarkable is something I told someone, which is you have to stop behaving to your parents, to your brothers, as if you did something wrong.
Oh my God. So that was what made me, I don't know whether you saw that tweet where, it was a tweet and a Facebook message where I said Nigerians should stop giving money to their parents.
Right.
Oh my God. And a lot of people lost it.
Yeah.
And I'll still stand by it.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't give money to my parents.
Right.
If people think I'm westernized, fine. My father walked, he fought in the Congo War, he fought in the Biafran War, he served this country. My mother was worked in University of Lagos all our lives.
Right.
They have pension.
Right.
They should be able to tap into their pension. Now, in a sane society, yes, but the society is not sane. And this is where the problem is. Because a lot of Nigerians know that there is an alternative to holding the government responsible. We ignore holding the government responsible because my brother abroad can send me money. So what do I care about, you know, demanding for my salary at the end of the month when someone is owing me 6 months and is not paying, but my brother or my sister abroad is subsidizing my income here. Or, you know, there is that idea that something else will fix this.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And until we break that culture of subsidizing, you know, do you know how many amount of money is remitted to Nigeria every year? And if we're able to stop that and critically say, okay, what can I do with my money? Invest in Nigeria or find something to do that can move the country a little bit forward instead of giving someone money to go to shows or buy clothes or do or subsidize their lifestyle. It will go a long way, but it will also give people the opportunity to question governance.
Yeah.
No.
Do you think that in some level, your entire life has become a grenade thrown at this system?
I wouldn't call it the middle finger.
You know, it's like everything you are is a protest against what Nigeria forces people to become, and not just Nigeria, many West African
Even in the
countries,
UK. Even in the UK. Even in the UK, because I talk a lot about race issues.
Yeah.
And for me, who is an immigrant, who had just arrived the country 11 years, and who has got this huge platform, who is signing all of these deals and getting all of these things. How could you do it? He's just been here for how long? Who even cares about him? And it's very much about, you're correct, it's very much about how life, as for what reason, I don't know, has used me as an instrument that I'm grateful for. Because
you are grateful for it.
I'm very grateful for it. And that's why, that's why I do a lot of things I do. I once posted, I said, I live my life in public so that you don't have to live your life in private. You know, I know I've come to realization life gave me an opportunity, and it becomes my responsibility to give back to life, to give back to that 17-year-old boy and let him understand that when we say it gets better, whether you're straight, whether you're gay, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you've been sexually abused, whether you're disabled, whatever it is going through, when we say it gets better, it is not a cliche. The guys that were beating me up in secondary school are now my Facebook friends. It does get better.
It does get better. It does get better. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Bisi. Thank you very much.
Times in our lives, we all have pain. We all have sorrows. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody. You can call on me, my brother, when you need a help. We all need somebody to I just might have a problem to understand. We all need somebody to lean on.